about the parable of the prodigal son. We can have this parable with a couple names. I think we should maybe call it the parable of the elder brother. Or I prefer calling it the parable of the loving father. Because I think the father is the central character in all of it. And the father is an image of God, the Father. This parable is revolutionary. In that day and age, the father was king. So the son demands his rights. And he takes all the property and spends it wildly. He discredited the name of the father. And in this culture, if you discredited the name, you were out. So he represented a father that was totally unlike what fatherhood meant 2,000 years ago in Israel. A father who was shamed but runs. In fact, there's that beautiful song, I forget how it goes. The only time I ever saw him run is when he ran to me. You know that song? Beautiful. The father running to the son and holding him. Today, I had two masses in the prison. 12:30 for the men, 2:30 for the women. And while most of you probably identify with the good son or daughter, what do you think most of the people in the prison identify themselves with? The prodigal son, the prodigal daughter. I said, how many of you have a brother or sister who did everything right and you did everything wrong? And almost everybody there could identify with being the brother or daughter, son or daughter, who did everything wrong in the eyes of their parents. And everyone, almost everyone, had a brother or sister who seemed to do everything right. Now, I'm sure most of the people here, you are the good ones. The elder brother. The elder brother and the younger brother both have their issues, and we'll talk about that. But I remember a very beautiful story in the fact that the bishop told a bunch of youth. And I was talking to people in the prison, talking about how many of you your parents said something in anger? You said something in anger. I don't want to see you again. You're no longer a son or daughter of mine. Never come back. Well, in this story, there's a young man who has an argument with his parents. And they say some of the things like, you are no longer our son. The son says, fine. I'm never coming back. And they say words in anger. And the son goes off. years later, the son had no contact with the parents. But he felt in his heart he wanted to go home. So he wrote a letter to his parents. Say, I want to come home. Will you receive me? And he said in the letter, if you want to receive me, simply leave a light on in the window. So the young man hitchhikes back to his home. Eventually he makes his way to a guy in a truck. And they're going to be driving past his old home. Home of his parents. His boyhood home. And he says to the driver, I don't have the courage to look. If the light is not on, simply drive by. So the man buries his head in the sea. The truck goes by. The story always gets me. The truck goes by and the driver says, you have to see what I see. Not only was the light on in the window, but every light was on in the house. Even the light in the garage. Every light. And the son, after all those years, comes back and embraces his mom and dad.